Welcome to Catalan News. Carles Puigdemont is free without bail. While Belgium decides on whether to extradite him to Spain, a judge ruled that there's no use in putting him and the other 4 deposed Catalan ministers in custody. This is a far different approach compared to the one taken by Spain's National Court. This whole episode is sparking a number of reactions in both countries, and even some friction between officials. Here at Catalan News, we'll tell you all about it, and we'll also get you the latest about the upcoming elections in Catalonia. Let's start. Carles Puigdemont and the deposed Catalan ministers of Agriculture, Education, Culture and Health will not be jailed in Belgium. The officials can stay in the country under precautionary measures while a judge decides whether or not to extradite them to Spain. While a judge in Madrid put 8 Catalan ministers in prison without bail for their role in the independence process, the Belgian judiciary is taking a much more cautionary stance with President Puigdemont and the ministers that are now with him in exile. But how come 2 European countries, both with strong pro-independence movements, take such different approaches? Let's look into it.
Last Thursday it was the Madrid region. Yesterday it was Brussels. Both vans are carrying members of the deposed Catalan government. Yet in the first case the van was heading to prison, while in the second it was taking the occupants to where they are staying. The images together show the divergent approaches to the same issue from justice in Spain and in Belgium. The differences are obvious and have struck some commentators. That the deposed ministers appeared in court voluntarily is the only similarity in both processes. The prosecutor in Spain asked for prison without bail for all the deposed officials. Meanwhile, the prosecutor in Belgium asked for their release while their extradition is decided. Once before the judge in Madrid, the 8 hearings lasted less than 2 hours. In Brussels, the 5 hearings lasted 6 hours. In the end, the Spanish National Court judge ruled that the deposed ministers should be held in custody while awaiting trial. The reason? A risk of committing further offences, such as destroying evidence or attempting to abscond. In Belgium, the judge ruled that there is no reason to hold the former officials in custody. All that was asked of Puigdemont and his ministers was for them to appear in court when called and to say where they are staying. Nevertheless, Spain's ruling party claims that the Spanish system better guarantees justice than does the Belgian system.
El sistema procesal español es muy garantista, probablemente incluso más garantista que el que hay en Bélgica, ya que es dual.
Given the evident differences in approach between the courts in Madrid and Brussels, no one rules out the possibility that Belgium may not extradite the 5 members of Catalonia's last elected government.
The judge in Belgium has also ruled that the 5 Catalan officials have to ask for permission if they want to leave the country. So far, they are still there, waiting for the next steps. They aim to avoid extradition. Our correspondent in Brussels, Laura Pous, is on the ground and has followed the latest developments on the issue. Laura, what can you tell us about the latest in Brussels?
Hello, good evening. What we have learned today is that the hearing with President Puigdemont and 4 of his ministers in front of the judge to decide about their extradition, possible extradition to Spain, is going to be on November 17 here in Brussels at 14 hours. The judge will have to decide whether he wants Puigdemont and his ministers to be sent back to Spain or if they can stay here in Belgium as they want to, because they argue that they will have not a fair trial in Spain. The decision, in any case, wherever it is, can be appealed, and the whole process can last for up to 2 months, even 3, if some of the parts can argue that this is an exceptional case and that should take more time. Whatever happens, but what we know for sure is that tomorrow here in Brussels we'll also have a very big event. 200 mayors from Catalonia are coming to the European capital to denounce what they see as an attack on the Catalan self-government, as an attack against the Catalan government, and they will do a big event in the Beaux-Arts Center, one of the most iconic venues, cultural venues here in the Belgian capital.
Thanks, Laura, and we'll be following that event tomorrow. As events keep unfolding, we'll surely be keeping an eye on Belgium, and not only because of judicial procedures, but also in regards to internal Belgian politics. With Puigdemont's trip to Brussels, the country has suddenly found itself in the eye of a significant political storm. Some officials are certainly not comfortable with it, while others are starting to speak their minds on Catalonia's push for independence, and especially on Madrid's reaction.
The Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel is among the few European leaders that has criticised the Spanish government for its way of dealing with the Catalan crisis. His words sparked a diplomatic clash, and since then he has tried to keep a low profile, but so far it has not been easy. His deputy prime minister Jan Jambon said last weekend that Madrid has gone too far. A member of a Flemish nationalist party, the Dutch-speaking North tends to be sympathetic with Catalonia's push for independence, and Michel, a francophone, depends on them to stay in power. His predecessor, the socialist Elio de Rupo, even compared Spanish President Mariano Rajoy to former dictator Francisco Franco, who ruled Spain for 40 years. Indeed, a Flemish MP brought up Rajoy's party origins. He did so after criticising Spain's justice system and being accused of xenophobia by the leader of Rajoy's party in Parliament.
As far as my party is concerned, we are a young party. We have no roots in whatever obscure regime of the past. We are a young party, a dynamic, democratic Flemish party, which cannot be said of the Partido Popular, who should be silent when talking about the roots of other parties, because they have their roots in a Frankist period.
Meanwhile, the Spanish government is trying not to step on Belgium's toes.
Por parte del gobierno, y dado que estamos hablando de un sistema democrático, tan democrático como el español, pues el máximo respeto a las decisiones de los jueces en España y en Bélgica y en todos los estados que respetamos la separación de poderes y la independencia judicial.
The Catalan socialists also said they respect the judge's decision and added that they think it's more proportionate than the decision made by the Spanish judge.
As the political debate in Catalonia heats up ahead of the December 21st elections, people also want to play their role. Since last Thursday, when 8 officials were incarcerated, the protests against the judiciary decisions and the enforcement of direct rule have increased. Yesterday, thousands gathered in several towns to put up posters asking for the release of the prisoners. During this morning's rush hour, some roads were cut in protest as well, and a general strike has been called for Wednesday. It will be the second general strike after the one on October 3rd, 2 days after the police violence during the October 1st referendum. This weekend also saw a different set of protests, ones advocating for the unity of Spain on Saturday. But a day that started out with protests ended badly, with an assault carried out by far-right Spanish nationalists, which sent an individual to the hospital, and the repercussions are still being felt. The very next day after the attack in the Catalan town of Mataró, a 2,000-strong demonstration was called to denounce the violence. Since then, various political parties and civil society groups have spoken up condemning the attack. The incident was even mentioned in an op-ed article written by deposed Vice President Oriol Junqueras and published from prison, in which he highlighted the importance of respecting others, coexistence, and expressing one's thoughts peacefully. In fact, Oriol Junqueras might be, from prison, a candidate in the December 21st election. His party is considering that option if there's no joint candidacy of pro-independence parties. The leader of Podemos in Catalonia, Albano Dante Fachin, was also considering joining such a potential candidacy, although he doesn't stand for Catalan independence. Yet, Podemos' headquarters in Madrid sidelined him for putting this option on the table, and because of that, he resigned today. Fachin and some of his supporters are holding talks with Junqueras' party, Esquerra. The deadline for registering coalition looms. The pro-Spain unity parties are also having their say and are hoping that independence parties don't succeed in 45 days' time.
Si me he apuntado a una organización que defiende unas cosas y ahora defiende exactamente las contrarias, por coherència no puedo seguir siendo secretario general d'esta organització.
Nosaltres només valorem la possibilitat d'un espai on hi sigui tothom. Si alguna d'aquestes parts falla, tenim claríssim que la millor opció és que cadascú es presenti amb les seves sigles.
Un gobierno que esté en Cataluña, que no tenga que salir fuera, un gobierno que en definitiva sea representativo de la pluralidad política de los catalanes y sobre todo sea formado pues por ciudadanos que respetan las leyes como la gente del resto del país.
The Paradise Papers scandal, which has exposed the tax haven secrets of the world's ultra-rich, is also having repercussions in Catalonia. Media reports published on Sunday accuse the former mayor of Barcelona, Xavier Trias, of having money invested in an offshore fiscal paradise along with his 11 brothers and 1 nephew. He denies the allegations and says his family will launch an investigation into the claims. Meanwhile, in the South Catalan town of Gandesa, people gathered to celebrate a long-standing Catalan tradition, wine. And this wine, cultivated in the singular conditions of the Terra Alta region, is enjoyed by Catalans and consumers abroad alike.
As fall ends, so does the wine harvest season. It's at this opportune time that Gandesa, a town in the south of Catalonia, celebrates its wine festival. The Festa del Vi, as it's known in Catalan, was celebrated over the weekend. The 30th edition of this event allowed wine lovers to taste to their palate's content. It also gave visitors the chance to talk to the winemakers themselves.
La idea és no només donar una copa de vi, sinó interessar al públic de que dintre d'una botella de vi no només hi ha un líquid, sinó que hi ha una història, un treball, una cultura, un paisatge, una manera de treballar o una manera de fer, no?
The festival offered different activities, such as a day dedicated to professionals in the industry where restaurateurs, winemakers and sommeliers met. Additionally on the menu was a technical production of wine, an award ceremony and the Night of the Garnachas, dedicated to a type of white grape typical to the region. This year's event featured as many as 33 wineries, 4 more than last year. It highlighted products from the Terra Alta wine-making region, where Gandesa is located. There are 11 wine regions in Catalonia, known as Denomination of Origin, or DO. This year, the Terra Alta DO produced a smaller amount than previous years, between 33 and 34 million kilos of grapes. Yet, officials assert that the smaller quantity was of excellent quality.
That's all for our show today. We leave you with some more images from the most recent protests against the incarceration of the deposed Catalan government, when citizens across Catalonia put up posters denouncing the imprisonments and demanding their immediate release. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Ara, sí, veus ara la brossa? Aquest tio és pintor, Heu vist la brossa? Les caves que no s'atacava, Aquest tio és pintor. Aquí hi ha professionalitat, la mica allà se faltava, passeu una mica de club. Barcelona, l'alta manera que senyora Marisca també, i avui que m'aprèn la tècnica tirada i de bona per allà, segurament que serà un èxit. Hem vingut aquí per posar el seu granet de sorra i per ajudar-nos